Give me, don't look at me like that. There's no point.
It's amazing how, I'm gonna get,
Maybe we need to find some of those individuals' hobbies. You know, maybe they can paint storm drains or something
Yeah.
for us and put them to work.
Give them some hobbies and let them paint storm drains, Mr. Mannino.
So I guess we're gonna lease these boats, and if they get damaged or sink, it'll be the city paying for them. We booked tickets for this past Sunday, whenever that was. Dropped my 83-year-old father off, and the boat left without us.
What's going on, everybody? Soliaker here, and you're looking at this beautiful face here, and we're gonna get into this video, and I'm gonna tell you all about this person. And it's gonna be a great time, and you're gonna enjoy what you're about to witness, because I know how much I'm enjoying it right now.
Hey, good afternoon, Council. Mike McDonald, Marine and Aviation Director. On March 7th, 2024, you guys approved a grant agreement with the State of Florida Department of Transportation to purchase 2 vessels not to exceed $800,000. Those vessels have arrived, and we're asking you all to get into an agreement with Clearwater Ferry to use the vessels for their operations.
just for the public, this dovetails with the earlier discussion we had on the relationship with the Clearwater Ferry. And then this is through a grant funding. To get the grant, we had to purchase the boats, as I recall. And so but the entire time, the purpose was to secure them for Clearwater Ferry to use, so.
Yes, sir. The grant was a 20% match, so we paid 20% of the boats, and it does require that they be purchased by government, and were owned by government, and then leased to an entity. We have to maintain ownership.
Okay. Do we have consent?
Yes.
We have consent on 7.1. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to hear from the public desire to speak to agenda item 6.8.
I'm Mr. Haluba, so I guess we're gonna lease these boats, and if they get damaged or sink, it'll be the city paying for them, which is wrong. Because there was a grant to purchase these boats in the first place. A grant that, in my opinion, should have never been allowed. Somebody should have figured out that these boats, these ferries, are not going to be economically viable, which is probably why there was a grant. But this is business that the city of Clearwater has no business being in.
Got him! Got him!
It's just wrongful, but I guess if they sink, you know, like the diesel pumps, that'll be on the city of Clearwater also. But more postings. Myself, 11-year-old niece and sister in a wheelchair had prepaid a 6:45 return trip back to our parked car. When we arrived at the loading zone, we were turned away and told that the ferry was broken down. When asked what we were supposed to do, we were told, "You're on your own." Great, that's wonderful, isn't it?
That's fucked up.
And the tagline is terrible experience. Another one. I have been a fan of the ferry since it was open, but lately my feelings have changed. Over the last 2 months, using the ferry has been more of a struggle than it's worth. It seems like their new employees have no idea what is going on or how to communicate with people who are willing to use their service. It's another great idea in theory, which I don't believe it is, yet their execution could improve. Another one, worst customer service ever. It was hot outside, And we just didn't need the rudeness of the employees back and forth. Not a very good experience, unfortunately. We booked tickets for this past Sunday, whenever that was. Dropped my 83-year-old father off, and the boat left without us.
Real piece of shit. Not like a real piece of shit. Like if a piece of shit ate a piece of shit and took a pee and shit, you're that piece of shit.
Anyone else here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 6.1?
Oh, shit. Here we go again. Worst place in the world.
Is Dan Alish? Yeah. Raise your hand. Okay. Ben Lamson, John Westerlin, and Jonas. Thank you. So that's 7 minutes.
Okay, very good.
Hi, friends. I'm back.
Hi, friends. All right, today we got a great show for you. Today is the story about Mike.
I love you guys. All right. All right. As you can see, they said something about $800,000 for boats, but you can see right down here at the very bottom, $949,743 for 2 boats. Hold on. Give me a... Don't look at me like that. There's no point.
Look, it's amazing how... I'm going to give you...
Why is it called the shusher?
Shush!
I'm going to give you extra time.
I got 7 minutes to talk.
You and I talk fine when you're
I
not
know
in
we
front
had
of
a
camera.
talk. I'm going to get to that at the city attorney's report.
Okay.
So just quiet.
Patrick, can you shut the fuck up?
Quiet. Citizens of Clearwater, $950,000. All right, here we go. We got profit and loss here. Salary and wages, $193,000 were paid, but they lost $41,000. Here we go again. We've got salary and wages, $130,521, lost $121,000. Citizens of Clearwater, listen to this. Here we go. Salary and wages, $108,474. Profit loss, $58,000 plus. Oh, this one right here. This is my favorite one. This is the one. This one right here is my favorite one. If I ever went to a manager's meeting and this was what was put up, I would have been fired on the spot. Fired. But let's go through it. Oh, look at that. Salary and wages. Oh, they only paid people $37,000, but $151,000 lost? This is a business meeting, right? You all keep claiming this is some kind of business meeting. Come on, any one of you can chime up and say, I'm looking you eye to eye because you know if anybody in your friggin' department, in your lawyer setting, ever lost $151,000. And I'm going to get you to the real numbers of what they were paid and what was actually lost, but we'll get there. Oh, look at this great one. This is probably the best one that I've seen, and this is a 5-year. This is from 2019 to 2023. Salary and wages, we'll say 66,000, just to say for whatever. But look at that. They actually profited. Wow. In 5 years, They profited $8,000. And then you're right here today, and actually it's going back months ago, probably before you guys, you signed off on 2, not 1, but 2 $500,000 boats that have lost $365,000 in 5 years. I don't know what kind of business meeting we're running here, but if I was the CEO and I was looking at these numbers, every one of you.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here. Right?
You can turn me back on. You can put me back so that the public can see me actually having a problem with this. This is not okay.
They turned it off because you had the screen.
I got it. I'm just asking so that the public can see it. Because this is a live stream that the people need to understand the frustration that I have. When I said something about these boats, I'm like, you could have went and bought a 20-seater boat for less than friggin' $40,000, and then you're willing to give Trish and Dennis Rodriguez that loses $151,000 two $500,000 boats, and on top of it, you're giving them $500,000 worth of subsidies for the next 5 years. I'm a great editor. Somebody got on a live stream and says, hey, maybe we need to give them, some hobbies. Give them some hobbies and let them paint storm drains, Mr. Mannino.
Yeah. Maybe we need to find some of those individuals' hobbies. Maybe they can paint storm drains or something for us and put them to work.
Give them some hobbies and let them paint storm drains, Mr. Mannino. Because that's what you said at a live stream. Yeah. I got a hobby. You know what my hobby is? Is exposing tyranny. Like, this is tyranny. $365,000 of taxpayer money to somebody that doesn't know how to run a business? And I said it before. They have 2 LLCs. There's Clearwater Ferry, and then there's Tropic Boat Tours. You know what I'm thinking? And I might be wrong. You might be able to prove me wrong. But what I'm thinking is, one boat's going over to Clearwater Ferry, and they're gonna turn the one that has the liquor license that drives everybody up and down the friggin' coast, that has a liquor license. That's what I think is gonna happen. Hi. Well, it's crazy that I had to drive 4 hours just to come talk about, like, I shouldn't be the one doing this. The citizens should be doing this, because this is garbage. If you want to talk about business meeting, turn it into a business meeting.
If no one else, we'll have council discussion. And before we start, I just want to explain that we have an organization called PSTA in this county, and they provide public transportation for the entire county. Mainly bus service, but they do some other things, and they're a partner on this project. PSTA provides public transportation for many of our hospitality industry workers, housekeepers, folks who are struggling to pay their bills. They're hardworking people, but they can't afford to drive. Many of them can't afford to own a car, and they rely on public transportation to get to and from work on a very crowded, congested beach. And PSTA provides a great service to our county and its citizens by giving those folks a mode of transportation to get out to work.
Some people are stupid to your nonsense. you're still charging people $5 per ride. That's $10 minimum. And let's just say they have to catch a bus to get to the Clearwater Ferry. So you're talking a little bit of extra, maybe $15 a day times 5. You know, you're talking about $65 a week times 4. You know, $240 just to friggin' ride a ferry. People are better off getting an e-bike or riding their bikes to the beach. But hey, you can try to friggin' do some shenanigans and try to be like, hey, don't look here, look over here. But it don't work with me.
This Clearwater Ferry is a partner with PSTA on this. And so that's a broader picture than what might be painted by what you can see on this agenda, but it's a lot more complicated again than what has just been explained. So with that, do we have any other Councilmember.Cotton?
Yeah, I will say that I brought up a few questions that I was concerned with on Monday's meeting. I'm not going to go back over all of that, but I will say that the Clearwater Ferry representative that was here did bring up ridership is what is obviously going to keep this business going. These are valid concerns that have been brought to us, and I agree with them. However, Mr. Kohler, please correct me if I'm wrong. Their new contract is that the city dealt with expires in September of 2028, ending all subsidies. So if she's not able to be solvent and show a profit, and Clearwater Ferry can't continue, Mr. Slaughter, maybe you can speak to it as well, then we'll just reevaluate then.
So the subsidies end in 2028, but the agreement goes to 2033. There is no subsidies in the 5 years, last 5 years of the agreement. The subsidies in the first 5 years actually start to decline. And the theory is you're growing ridership, and therefore eventually it becomes self-sustainable in the last 5 years, is at least paying for itself without government support.
Correct. Okay, very good. So just to make sure that everybody understands that as well.
Mr. Cotton, I truly appreciate all the phone calls that we've ever had. They've been really good, but this has really not a lot to do with you. This is before you, but this is complete insanity. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. They've already done 5 years of losing $365,000, paying themselves almost $565,000, and Clearwater is willing to roll the dice with this company. Why not just hire your own boat captain? That way it stays in Clearwater. That's what I would do, and that would be the more intelligent thing to do. But if that's not the case, congratulations. But we'll see what happens in 5 years.
Any other council discussion? Vice Mayor?
So I'm on the board of PSTA, and I can tell you a fare box rate doesn't pay for bus service. If it wasn't for the grants from the federal government, nobody would have public transportation because it doesn't pay for itself.
And now I'm not even saying no public transportation. I'm just saying this company does not need these boats because they do not know how to run a business. Like even your bus systems there probably don't lose this amount of money. But hey, maybe I should do a records request on that. I'll expect my phone call on Tuesday.
So that's what we do, is try to get these different modes of transportation that'll benefit people that can't afford cars and need to get to work. The ferry is going to be a perfect example of that. We have 12,000 service workers on the beach.
Oh, man. Okay, 12,000 service workers, and this boat only holds 50. Are you still sleeping? Have you not woken up yet? Did you take a nap and not realize that even with 2 boats, it's only 100 people? Like, you're trying to transfer 12,000 people. Like,
They can't even afford to park their car on the beach because of the rates. And a lot of them need to have a free parking lot on the mainland and have a ride to the beach, and that's what the ferry's going to do. So it's a good thing overall. And hopefully Trish can pull it off and make something of it in the next 2 or 3 years. That's it.
Okay, any further council discussion? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve agenda item 6.8.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.